Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm doing a quick video on wild garlic. It's not going to be very detailed on wild garlic. I'll probably do another one solely just for wild garlic, but today I just needed to get out for a while, for a few hours. So I'm going for a swim in the river Liffey. I've been dying to go for a swim for quite a while, but on the way I'm going to pick some wild garlic. I know a little spot there that has quite a bit of wild garlic there, so I'm going to pick that, go for a swim and cook lunch then for myself on a frying pan. I have a small little pan there in the back. I'm going to get some eggs on the way and probably do an omelette. So yeah, so I hope you enjoy the video. Cheers guys. Just something I want to show you here really quick, guys, is wood sorrel. It looks like clover, but it's not. So this is it here. It kind of just has a lemony, citrusy kind of flavour off of it, and I really love this stuff. You know, people cooking with wild foods would use this in salads and that. You know, you'd need a hell of a lot of this to fill you up in any way. But I really like it. Just the kids, it's kind of a novelty. Nearly when you go into the woods you'll find this, and the kids like to eat it along the way. The only thing I'll say to you is I'm just gonna try a little bit of it there. Don't know if you can see me there. My selfie camera is not working, it's full of dust. But a lovely citrusy flavour off it. It's, like I said, it's not clover, it's wood sorrel. So if you can think back to years ago when we were kiddies, the sweet leaves that we used to pick in the field would be a relative of this wood sorrel, in that we just call them sweet leaves, and they're longer and pointier. But of course these are a really distinctive shape, kind of like a shamrock nearly. But yeah, the only thing I would say to you, if you're going to be picking those with the kiddies, just make sure to pick them off the path. Go off the beaten track. I'm in here in the middle of a bunch of trees, so I don't ever pick anything around trees because humans will go in there and do their business. And also along the edges of the paths, like I said, dogs and cats and all sorts of animals will do their business along the sides of the paths. So just make sure you go in off the path, in between the bunch of trees, not around the trees. Okay, so that's wood sorrel. Really nice. Lovely stuff. And there it is. Okay, better go and find some wild garlic. Wild garlic, here we come. Normally with the wild garlic you'll actually smell it before you see it, and I have a good sense of smell. I'll smell wild garlic from about half a mile away. So I shouldn't have to look for too long. Lots of wood sorrel up there in that green, that lovely greeny spot there, kind of mossy. Lots of wood sorrel up there if you want to create a nice zingy salad for yourself. I'm not interested in that. I like to actually eat something that's going to fill me. Wasting my time eating leaves. But I'm going to go and get some wild garlic, because wild garlic, you can make wild garlic pesto. You can make all sorts of stuff out of wild garlic, and it's just much more substantial. So yeah, okay, on the hunt for the wild garlic. Okay guys, so like I said, I'll smell the wild garlic before I'll see it. So I can smell it, and we have it down here. Okay, and there it is. Okay, not this one here. I'm not actually sure what this one is. I did know at one stage, but this is not what you're looking for. Be careful, because these kind of leaves will be all mixed in together. This is what we're looking for here. Like I said, you don't want to be picking your wild garlic around trees where the dogs can do their business. So go in off the beaten track, okay? Where you'll find some, you'll always find more. Yeah, look, there's lots of it here. There's wild garlic everywhere, guys. Oh, lovely little leaves. These are all lovely new leaves. It's March the 20th here in Ireland, so those are really tender. And as time goes on, the wild garlic has a stem on it as well, and that flowers a lovely white flower, and the flowers are actually edible as well. Picking wild garlic, or you're doing anything in the wild, just make sure that you don't overpick in any one area, so move around. Like, I mean, there's an abundance of wild garlic here, but I'm just going to take a few leaves from one spot, a few leaves from another spot, and my God, the smell of it is very strong. So like I said, I'm just going to pick a little bit here, a little bit over there, and yeah, so just if you really want to do a harvest of wild garlic, just make sure you move around there. So I'm just going to set up here and pick a few handfuls of this and get on my way. So guys, when you're picking a wild garlic, okay, so you don't want to pick it up by the root. You don't want to be pulling it by the root because you want it to be able to grow again next year. So you just pick it just above the base, you know, and just kind of pick it like that, okay? Really simple. The stalk part is really strong, so it's like a strong onion, this part here. And up along here is a bit more mild, so it's a bit more palatable. So depending on what you want, like, I mean, if you pick the whole thing, like I said, this is like a, the stalk is like a strong onion, very strong flavour. So I've got half of my little container picked there, and I'm going to just continue now. And this will be nice and pleasant. There's one that was eaten by something already, so I just picked the really young ones. I just think they're really nice. They're nice and tender. That is really probably enough for me in reality. These are going to wilt down when I put them in the pan as well, so you need to remember they're going to wilt a little bit. Something was munching on that one as well. Okay, that's probably enough for me anyway. And look at the colour. And this particular woods that I'm in, guys, later in the year it'll be bluebells here, and it looks absolutely beautiful. I will come down here again. You can actually see the stems of the bluebells. These are the stems of the bluebells, and so the stalk will come up through there, and the bluebells are absolutely gorgeous in amongst all of this. And I probably have a photograph of it in bloom from last year, and if I do, I'll put a picture up here so you can have a look at it. So guys, this is wild garlic all the way up along here, along the pathway, along here, and along there. So how do you identify the wild garlic? Well, it's a long narrow stem, and you can smell it. It smells like onion, and funnily enough like garlic. Really easy to identify, so just pick one and just rub it in your fingers. Smell your finger and you'll know. If you're ever going to taste something in the wild, guys, just chew it in your mouth for a second and spit it out, just enough to get the flavour. Don't ever swallow anything unless you're fully sure of the identification of it. All wild garlic all along here. So I'm going to go now for a swim. Time to go into the shop and get some eggs. Doesn't it make you so sad that we have to wear these bloody things? I tell you what, if we spent more time in nature and weren't so bloody greedy, I don't think we'd be in the shit that we're in at the moment, to be honest. So here we are, all parked up at the next spot, ready to go. This is the spot that I'm going to. I absolutely love it here. I've been coming here for years. yeah, so we used to catch loads of trout here when we were kids, and sometimes actually the water is quite high. Water is quite high here, but what we used to do sometimes was even just cast straight into the rapids. We'd catch a lot of trout along here, like literally in the really rough area. You would think that the fish would be more likely down there, and they do be as well, but in the rapids is quite good for trout. Okay, so I'm going to find a spot now up here somewhere where I can light a fire. Just the sound of the water alone is so relaxing. Since I've been a kid, I've just loved being by the water, and I just always had a fascination. I lived in Blessington and the Blessington Lake. I always had a fascination with water and fish, and I used to just walk along the lake when I was a kid for hours and hours, looking into the water, looking for fish and trying to catch fish as well, of course. But sometimes when I didn't bring my fishing rod, I would just walk for hours looking into the water. But, my God, look at it here. You could think you're in Canada or somewhere. We're in Ireland, in County Wicklow. And the water is so clear. I just love it here. Plenty of sheep shit around, so I better be careful of all of that. Another thing, actually, when we were kids, I was only telling my daughters last week, very funny, myself and my brothers and my uncles and my cousins, we used to have sheep shit and cow shit fights. When we used to stay in my grandmother's for, you know, a number of weeks over the summer holidays, and she had a little farm up there, and myself and my brothers used to pick up dry sheep shit and cow shit and fire it at each other. And the best was if you could get a piece of shit that was still moist on the inside but crispy on the outside. You could get a good swing on it, and then when it would hit your target, your brother, it would splat open. Oh, the crack was 90. Oh, kids don't do that shit anymore. Oh, anyway, so here we go. There's the sheep. If I go up a little bit further here, when the river gets narrower, it tends to get deeper because the same amount of water is flowing through that part of the river. So naturally enough, here it's wider, so it's shallower. So in the narrower parts of the river, same amount of water flowing has to flow through that area. So it can only mean that that area is deeper. I hope you can see me there, guys. So just setting up my GoPro because I'm going to put the waterproof case on that and just take it into the water for the crack. And the only reason I've really kind of set up here is because there's most of the breeze is blocked because there's a bit of a bank here. So yeah, so I'm going to set up the GoPro. My wife got me this 6 years ago, and I never took it out because I have a thing with social media where I do like it, but I also don't like it. I like it in that it's good for my business. Most of my business is generated through social media because I never really had a website, although I'm getting one done now. But yeah, so basically when my wife got me this, I was just reluctant to use it because it was like another device I had to learn how to use, and then time on the computer, and it was taking me away from the kids and all of that. But then COVID hit last year, and I said, right, okay, I'm going to take it out and try and use it. So I have the GoPro now, and it's really dated, but it's actually brand new because, like I said, it never was taken out of the box. So I'm going to put the waterproof casing on it when I hop into the water, and maybe get a little bit of footage in there from the GoPro as well. So that'll be kind of cool. So yeah, so I'm going to also set up a little area here that I can light a fire. So that's what I'm going to be getting up to now. very first one, I think. So it comes with different screens, a touch screen, and then a waterproof screen that you can't change the controls with. So I'm going to put on the waterproof one, of course, which is this one. So you take off, I think they call it the door. So you clip that off. That just pops down there like that. And then I just put on the new one, waterproof one. Put this back in there. I can hear kids in the distance. I don't know where the hell they are. But I'm not going to be going bollock naked in here anyway, so there's nothing for me to worry about with children. I'm not going to offend anybody. But I don't know where those people are. So anyway, so click in. Just blow off the dirt and dust so that all your footage is clear, I suppose, or as clear as it can be. Pop that in there. A tiny bit of water does actually get in here, guys, because I did a video with the GoPro a little while ago, and in the water, and when I dipped it underwater, I could see bubbles coming up, so that of course means it wasn't fully waterproof. But the thing was fine. Nothing ever happened to it. So there we go. So that's the GoPro setup, and what I'm going to do for the crack is I'm going to put it on my head, because I've got like this headband thing, and hopefully get a bit of footage there. But now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a fire going, because I want to make sure that that's lighting and it's warm and it's hot. So for when I get out of the water, because today is a little bit damp and dull, there is no sun. So if I get a fire going, at least I'll be warm when I get out, and also I'm going to cook something on it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Guys, there's no fear of me setting fire to anything here. But all I'm going to do is I'm just going to build up a bit of a bank around the fire. What that will do is it'll just stop the wind blowing it in my face and all of that kind of thing. Of course, it's not going to catch fire to anything else, but just to get a nice solid base there and just kind of have the fire in there, it's going to make more sense. And it'll just keep things neat and tidy. And then when I'm finished with the fire, what I'll do then is I'll everything that's burned away, I'm just going to cover it with the sand and make sure that I leave no traces here, because like, I mean, when you're in nature, you don't want to leave any human traces. I just heard a little trout jumping there, or a fly. So yeah, anyway, so just to leave no trace, guys. So what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to burn off everything that I have and just cover it in the sand. Then whatever ashes are left here, and what will happen is then the river will eventually come up here one day, and sure, everything will be washed away, and it goes back into the ground, and it'll all be fine. So that's all I'm going to do. Build up just a little bit of a fire, and because I'm going to want to cook on here as well, I'm going to have to build up something to hold up the frying pan. Something that you're going to have to be careful of, guys, as well, is when you're lighting a fire, rocks that contain, or stones that contain moisture in them, inside a fire, are going to explode, because what happens is the moisture that's contained within the stone expands, and the stone can literally explode and fly out of the fire. Okay, so I don't think the water has been up here very much, and it's obviously been raining, but I don't think these rocks are going to be too wet. So what I'm going to do is just going to build it up anyway, and just bear that in mind when you're lighting your fire, that really wet stones will explode. Okay, I think we're going to be fine. I'm not going to be lighting a really big fire anyway. Something neat and tidy. Just something neat and tidy. I'm dying to get into the water and go for a swim. We used to swim here when we were kids, myself and my cousins, and we used to get in our boxer shorts. We still do that. but we never came with towels or anything. So we used to come fishing, go fishing, and you know, when we were finished fishing, we would jump into the water and go for a swim. A real campfire, when you have rocks around it, it keeps the heat in the fire, and if you want to cook things, or you want to, you know, put a potato, let's say for example, in a piece of tin foil, you can just put it on the rocks and cooks it really evenly. That's how they used to heat the bats years ago, was create a fire, of course, put the rocks, create a fire, have a bat of water, and with the rocks they used to use the rocks to heat the water as well. So they put the rocks into the water to heat the water. So yeah. Alright, so that's going to be pretty good. Probably looks a little bit elaborate, but look. It's Daddy's day out with no kiddies, so I'm having fun. I'm pretending I'm a kid again. I'm never going to grow up, that is for sure. Never, ever, ever. Absolutely not. I don't want my kids to ever grow up either. You know? Life is what you make it. I don't want to be born out fart of a dad. I just want to be me and have fun. So anyway guys, I think I've built it up enough so that my pan should fit in there. It's a pretty small pan. We'll see how we get on. Alrighty, so I'm going to gather some sticks. Okay guys, so like everything else, preparation is part of the whole thing, a very important part. So, you know, I don't want to be getting out of here freezing my nuts off and not have a fire, because I don't have like one of those fancy overcoats that people have when they get out of the water to keep themselves warm, or like £100 or something. Anyway, I don't have one, so yeah, a few sticks and get everything set up and ready to go. Okay, so I found a clatter of dry bits up there. So a tip with firewood as well is get the old dead wood that's raised up off the ground. If you pick the wood that's too close to the ground, it's going to most likely be wet or damp, and it's going to burn really slowly. Burning really slowly is good sometimes, but when you're trying to start a fire, you need good dry stuff. So always pick the wood that's up off the ground. And this is pretty good stuff. Okay guys, so what I've done is just gotten as much dry wood as I can get, and then a bit of tinder as well, which is just really dry grass, and then some kindling, some just really small bits. I also have a video on YouTube there of lighting a fire in the snow, so that will also give you some tips there on how to light fire using just what you have around you. So what I'm going to use here now to light this fire is a FORAGING rod and striker, which I just call a flint and steel, but of course it's not a flint and steel, because a flint and steel, guys, is flint is pretty much glass, so it's natural. It is like a nodule of glass, let's say, or sand. Sand and glass are all the same thing. So it's quartz, and it comes from most beaches. You'll see it in the sand, you'll see it along most beaches. I've found lots of flint on Greystones beach in Wicklow, so you'll find loads of it there. So it comes out of the banks, and it's created from quartz flowing into little holes or pockets in the sand, which would have been created, like, I mean, millions of years ago. So it's not a flint and steel. This is literally a FORAGING rod and striker. So the flint and steel is, like I said, a nodule of flint. I'll put a picture of it up there. A nodule of flint, and then you have steel to strike it to create a spark. Okay. Okay. So this is what I created then. I have to get it going. So I'm going to do what they do, what all survivalists do, is they open up the middle and create like a nest, and then they put their spark in there and light it from the middle. So let's try that. I'm not a survivalist, I'm just an amateur. I like having fun. Okay, there we have fire. So the grass is on fire, plenty of grass, so there should be enough to light these sticks in all of that grass, so that should be the plan. GoPro on. Yeah. Jesus Christ. I have an old injury on one of my toes from football, and it's at me again. God damn it. Right on the ball of my foot underneath my big toe. So I'm gonna call it down. That was really nice though. So guys, that was really nice. Nice to have the fire as well. So I'm going to cook up an omelette now. And then I'm probably just going to switch off the cameras. So guys, I had to swim. Really enjoyed that. But I have a lovely fire going. I pulled this log down from up beyond there, so I have something to sit on. I'm really comfortable. The heat from this fire is just gorgeous. I've got my pan ready to go. I've got my eggs, and then the wild garlic from this morning as well. So the eggs, I've just decided to make an omelette. My eldest daughter Aisling, she's highly allergic to egg, and she's celiac as well. So at home in my house we have a really strict diet to protect her, of course. But because I'm out now, I said I'd get some eggs and do a quick omelette. I can't remember the last time I've had an egg, so I'm going to really enjoy that. And yeah, so I'm going to cook that up now, and I've got a few sausages that I'm going to put in the pan too, so that'll be nice. It's actually quite warm here at this fire. Over there. So I'm just going to get a bit of butter in the pan. So what I did was I literally just put some butter, salt and pepper all together in the same little piece of tin foil. I'm going to fling that into the pan and put the eggs in, and then break up the, put the sausages, the eggs, and break up the wild garlic and put that in there as well. So it'll be really nice. Let me set up a little bit of a spot here for myself. I've got a plate for myself as well. Guys, this is so enjoyable. Just getting out to do something like this. There's nobody around, nobody disturbing me, and just enjoying this every minute of it. So simple. So I've got 2 gluten-free sausages here that I stole from home. I'm sure I won't get in trouble. Actually, Jesus, there's 3 there. Oh, look at me. 3 gluten-free sausages. Alrighty, I'm gonna go and wash my hands real quickly in the river there. I have a fork and a knife. Oh, what's scalding my nuts there now? A lemon. Ooh, that fire. Oh, okay. Like I was saying, there's quite a lot of heat from this, so I probably need to let the fire go down a little bit. But I am really hungry, so I'm not going to hang around for too long. I think I'm going to get those sausages in there. Oh, god damn, I'm after losing a piece. To the sand. Let's go. Okay guys, I know there's going to be a load of you saying like hygienically wise and all of that, you're whatever. But I don't care what YouTube says. I really don't give a shit. I just do my own thing. I haven't died yet. And I'll do things my own way. Coronavirus and all that shit in the world at the moment. It's no wonder that we are not able to fight against it naturally, because everything is so clean and so perfect across the world. It's no wonder that we can't fight off any viruses that come our way, because everything is, we're too mollycoddled in the world. So anyway, smells amazing. I don't know what it is about cooking on an open fire when you're out in the wild. I did it last October with my daughter Aisling, and we cooked winter chanterelles in a pan, just with butter and with steak. And this is Aisling, my daughter, who's allergic to egg and celiac, so she loves to eat stuff in the wild because she knows people haven't been tinkering with it. But whatever it was about cooking the food in the woods, it was just amazing. And it tasted so nice in it. It was just unreal. And these sausages even look nicer than they look when I'm at home. I have 6 eggs. Now guys, I don't have anything to mix them up with, so it's going to be like some kind of crazy omelette. I don't know how it's going to even turn out. Like I said, I'm not a chef, but I do know how to cook food. Haven't had eggs in ages. Oh shit. I have to make sure not to contaminate anything with the eggs because my daughter. So I'm gonna kind of muddle this up a little bit. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh Jesus Christ. Oh Jesus Christ. The things you do when you're in the wild, holy crap. Oh, that crack. Okay guys, doesn't look very pleasant, but I'm sure it's going to be really nice. Get it on there for another while. Boom boom. Alright, bit of lemon juice on there now when she's cooked, and it'll be lovely, I bet. It's a bit cold when you're kind of sitting around. This gets me thinking about something that someone said to me recently as well, about teaching kids. Someone I'm friends with on Instagram there just kind of saw me teaching my kids how to light a fire with the FORAGING rod and striker. And she was just saying, like, you know, it's especially with COVID and lockdown and all of that, mammies and daddies are at home trying to teach their kids one thing or another. And we feel we beat ourselves up all the time. We're not achieving what we want to achieve, and the home environment trying to teach kids is just so difficult. So anyway, she was just saying that it's really good to see that you're teaching kids how to light a fire, and that's probably the best education that kids can have. And it really is, like, I mean, their ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s are equally as important, I suppose, but really teaching your kid how to be a good child and look, all the usual stuff, to have manners and be kind and look after other children and all of that. I think if you get your kids out into the wild and show them a thing or two, it will pay dividends, like, you know, in the future. So I think yeah, showing your kids how to light a fire and do stuff like that. No harm to take a break away from schoolwork, because I have it at home with our 2 kids. My wife sometimes would be pulling her hair out there, and me too. So you know, I do take them off every so often out into the wild, and we do one thing or another, and they absolutely love it. So yeah, get them out and show them how to light a fire. It's really great fun, and I have a video on that on YouTube, how to light a fire with the FORAGING rod and striker, or a flint and steel, whatever you want to call it. I'm getting a little bit cold now. I'm getting out of the water. I'm looking forward to this food. Alrighty. I don't want a chance trying to flip it over out here in the wild, because if it goes down on this sand, that's it, game over. I'm gonna just give it a bit of a toss there. I don't want to overcook it. I don't like eggs when they're overcooked. I like a little bit of a, not a sliminess, but you know what I mean, moistness to it. Alright. I'm really looking forward to this. The only thing is I forgot vinegar, but I have lemon juice there anyway, so it'll do the same thing. I love vinegar. This looks really great. I think that's probably it, like, you know. Squidge of lemon juice on there now and we're good. Right. Okay, so I love lemon juice and vinegar and wine. No wine. I have to drive home. So I'm just going to eat it straight out of the pan. Oh yeah. Amazing. Of course I'm going to say that anyway. somebody watching me. You're still watching, fair play to you. I hope you're hungry. I hope you're gonna go and do this now tomorrow. Enjoy yourself. So I'm gonna do that again. And I'll catch you again in a little bit. Oh jeez, so nice. In we go to the remaining bit of the butter. And salt and pepper. Guys, I'm going to clean up absolutely everything here behind myself, don't worry. Oh Jesus, I forgot the wild garlic. Just as well I'm going to do it with the second one. All the talking to the camera. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm going to let this run again, guys, because what the fucking garlic. Oh Jesus Christ. That's what happens to me because I talk so much anyway. Talking shite all the time. So we went and picked garlic this morning, and then don't even put it in the bloody food. That is so me, like, it really is. That's just me. All right, let's do it. Wild garlic time. This video is going to be like 2.5 hours long. Jesus Christ. Excuse me. Okay, right, so eggs. Oh, sausages. Sausages. I'm gonna open this and put it right in front of me so I don't forget it this time. Because this is the star of the show. Alrighty. Real quick. Fucking hell, that's hot. There's a bit of shell down in there too for good measure. Another bit of shell. Bit of a mix. Woohoo! Actually, you know, I'm gonna leave it like that. It looks a little bit more presentable than the way it was earlier. So guys, the wild garlic, I'm not even gonna bloody check it, to be honest with you. I'm just gonna fling this on the edge like that. That looks like an Irish dish now. Green, white and orange. For St. Patrick's Day. Woohoo! Yeah, so I'm not gonna mix it actually through because I think it looks kind of good like that. And more presentable maybe. But let's just do this, right? I think that's enough on there. Of that. Okay, so wild garlic is in this time. Ready. I love this little thermos flask. It's great for keeping stuff cold and hot, and it's just nice and narrow, and it's just so handy. And yeah. Oh Jesus, that's right. Jesus, this is good. I'm gonna have to turn off the camera to get a photograph of this, and because it looks so good. Over and let you have a look at it. Okay, so there it is. Gluten-free sausages, egg, and the star of the show, wild garlic. I remembered to put the garlic in this time. Flip this, guys. Yeah. And that's an omelette, guys, now. Really nice. Okay, so guys, I hope you can see me there. I don't know if you can or not. Hopefully. So yeah, so this is the second one, which is actually looks like an omelette, a proper one, with the wild garlic then. So the wild garlic is all on this side, but it's underneath. Okay. I'm just gonna let that cook away there for a minute, and yeah, do the taste test then. But the wild garlic, I mean, it is quite strong. It's a very strong flavour, but I really like it. What I did last year was I made a lot of wild garlic pesto, which was gorgeous, and put that into jars. It doesn't really last very long, but you just use an oil, and then some people put nuts, ground nuts into it as well, and it's absolutely gorgeous. A little bit of lemon juice, really nice. Here I go with my lemon juice again. So nice. Okay. Now taste test. Right. Oh my god, the smell of wild garlic is amazing. If I can get this. Oh yeah. Oh my god, it's unreal. Yeah, the flavour of the garlic is really nice. And the lemon juice. Oh. And guys, just in case you're wondering where I am, I just don't like disclosing exact locations, because not that I've got like tons of viewers on YouTube or anything, because I don't. But I just don't. I did disclose 1 or 2 locations to people before for foraging and stuff like that, and I went back to those locations at certain points of the year, and just noticed that like those people went back there and like completely stripped the place bare, and I didn't like that, and I felt kind of guilty in a way. So you know, not everybody's going to look after a place the way you look after it, so I just like not to disclose the location, and look, if you can find it, you can find it. Off you go. A little fishy. Okay. I burned the absolute arse off the bottom of my pan. Well, it is my pan. My wife knows that. So this is the pan that I take camping. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that, because I did. If there's anything else I can show you today, it might be of interest, I will. The reason I make these videos, I suppose, is you know, I've loved nature for so long, and simple things in life, and sometimes life gets so complicated you have to run away. And run away, I just mean, you know, get away for a while and do something else that brings you back down to earth. But yeah, the reason I'm doing the videos is I think if you don't share stuff like this with people, it's just like it never nearly happened or something. And I always go home and try to tell my wife about, oh, I saw this and I saw that, and oh, you should have seen this, and it's just not the same, because I never could explain to her how nice it was, and it just felt like it was just going to be lost in my memory then. And so I think capturing it somehow or another, I just think that makes most sense for someone else in the world to be able to look at it and say, wow, I'm going to take a little bit of inspiration from that, or whatever. And maybe it will inspire somebody to go out with their kids to do whatever it is that I do. and the stuff that I've been looking at over the last few years, picking things up in nature, foraging and that kind of thing. I just would love for everyone to know about it. So it's just nice to be able to share it with those people who might actually have an interest in it and say, yeah, wow, that's abundant in the hedgerows in Ireland, and I'm going to go and I'm going to get that. So maybe like for slowberry gin, which I made just before Christmas. So I was always hearing about slow berries and slow gin, and so last year I gave it a try and it was absolutely amazing. Something like that. So in October this year I'm going to do the same. September, October, pick slows, make slow gin, put that video up, and hopefully somebody else will try to do it and get some satisfaction out of it. That's why I do the videos. You know, what is the point of me learning things if I can't pass them on to somebody else? So this is of course the fire that I had. So just to show you these bits of wood, just make sure they're out. They came from up there, so they're going to rot in the water and they're not going to leave any trace on the environment anyway. So you just have to make sure they're not going to catch fire to anything else, like, you know. So I just make sure you can just bury them in the sand like that, you know. They're gonna rot away, like I said, cause no problem to the environment, none at all. And this log, this is gonna rot away as well. Mushroom might grow on it, God knows what, but ultimately I'm not leaving any plastic or anything around. So regarding the fire then, of course we've got those really hot stones, like I said before. They're really, really hot, right? So at the end of the day, after your fire was lighting, if you had a campfire, those stones will remain hot for hours. So let's say you wanted to cook something before you go to bed or whatever, or even have something ready for the morning. What you could do is you could wrap it up in tin foil really well, place it into the fire. This is the way they used to cook pigs and stuff like years ago. So you place it in the fire and then put sand over it, okay, and cover it like this. And then when you wake up in the morning, you uncover all of that, and the heat was trapped in there, and you'll have a really well cooked pig or whatever it is you want to do in there. So rather than wasting the fire, put rocks around it, get them really hot, and use them for something else. So yeah, so that's what they used to do years ago to cook things before they had ovens. This was a natural oven. So what I do is just cover everything there so no one burns themselves or no little kiddies stumble across this today. I only saw one guy throughout the whole day, and he was fishing, but he wasn't too close to me here anyway. So yeah, so that's what you get, guys. But yeah, so what a day. It's so nice here. I'm gonna wash my hands and I'm gone. Thanks a million for watching the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, I might see you out in the wild one day, enjoying yourself.